All right, now that we've discussed government benefits and given a high-level overview of how a settlement can impact government benefits, we are ready to dive into Filevine and look at the Government Benefit Assessment integration. Again, the purpose of this integration is to screen, educate, and help your clients keep their benefits after they receive a settlement. So to set up the Government Benefit Assessment integration, what happens is we will add a government benefits section to your Filevine account. We will add a couple auto tasks that are triggered at a settlement or similar phase in your firm's workflow, and we create a couple fields, including an email template field and some date fields. So that will all be set up on the back end, and I will coordinate that with the appropriate person at your firm. So the purpose of this video is to show you as the user how you will interact with this on a daily basis or on a regular basis in your typical workflow. All right, so I'm quickly going to show you what the integration looks like on the back end just so you can see it. In the customs editor, what we do is we create a custom section called Government Benefits, and we add a number of custom fields. And again, I will be setting this up with the appropriate person at your firm, but this just gives you an idea of how it's set up. We have email fields, we have date fields, and some additional instructions. Additionally, what we'll do is we will set up a couple of tasks to be triggered at a phase change. So in this example, I have an auto task that's triggered when the phase changes to settlement phase, which will be to send the government benefit assessment to the client via the government benefits tab and to then record the email sent date. Another task is triggered when this first task is completed, which is to go to the mailroom to save the letter that our law firm will send you detailing this client's government benefit situation. And we'll dive more into this in a minute. But that's kind of how the back end of the integration works, just so you have a feel for that process. And now let's go ahead and go to the front end to see on a sample client how this works in practice and what you would be doing on a regular basis. All right, so here we are in a sample client, Minnie Mouse. We are going to skip ahead in the case and assume that we are now getting close to settlement and we're ready to change the phase to settlement. So up here, I'm going to go and move the phase to change the phase to settlement. You can see a number of tasks were created. The one that we want to focus on here is this task that says, send the government benefit assessment to the client via the government benefits tab and record the email sent date. So when this is triggered and assigned to you or another staff member, what will happen is, as the task indicates, we'll go to the government benefits tab and we will email a link to the government benefit assessment, whether it's in English or in Spanish. And again, there's some instructional language here that just says this tab is used to send the government benefit assessment to the client. It screens, educates, and helps clients and their household members know what they need to do to maintain eligibility for their government benefits after they receive funds from a settlement. So you need to email the client a link to the government benefit assessment by clicking one of these buttons. So we'll go ahead and click on one of these buttons. We'll open our mail program, and you would email this to your client. And this link will be specific to your firm. This is our demo link, but this email will auto-populate with their name, the relevant link, and your law firm's name here. So once they receive that email, your client will be directed to a landing page, a dedicated landing page for your firm. So this landing page will have your firm's logo and will have some basic information explaining that your law firm has asked the law firm of Toombs Maxwell LLP to provide the client with some education about the impact a legal settlement may have and any government benefits the client receives. They'll go ahead and click on this button and they'll be redirected to the actual questionnaire or the actual assessment. So the client would then, on a computer or smartphone, complete this questionnaire. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes. So I'll pause the video. I'm going to complete this as Minnie Mouse, and then we'll see the next step of the process. So after the client has completed the questionnaire, the assessment, they'll be taken to this page that just says, hey, thank you for doing this. Your government benefit assessment has been successfully submitted. So that information is then sent to our law firm. We receive that, and then we prepare a letter for the client and for your law firm. Once we prepare that letter, we email it directly to the client, and we also email it to your firm's Filevine mailroom email address. From your perspective as a user, as soon as you send that email to the client, you're going to want to go ahead and record the date the assessment was sent. So we can pick the date it was sent, go up here and click save, and that's really step one. Once the client completes it, the information is sent to our law firm, we prepare a letter, and then we'll go over step two here in just a moment. So once you send the email to the client and record the date sent, we'll go back to the activity feed. That first task is completed. As soon as you mark that task as complete, another task will be created that's due a few days later that says to save the government benefit information letter from the mailroom to the client's project and record the receive date on the tab. So in the days between when you send the email and when this task is due, the client will complete the questionnaire, the assessment, that will come to our law firm. We will prepare a letter and we will email it to the mailroom. So next I'll show you how to save it from the mailroom to the client's project. So here on the Minimask page, we can see that the mailroom icon has changed. It says mailroom updates have arrived. And so if we go up to the mailroom to complete this task, which is to save the government benefit information letter from the mailroom to the project, we'll go up here and we can see a government benefit information letter for Minnie Mouse. And so we can preview this if you'd like. You can see the contents of the letter that we prepare for your client. And then you can go ahead and move that to the correct client project. Once you've done that, you can go back into the client's project and you'll go to the Government Benefits tab and you'll record the date that the information letter was received. As this instruction indicates, after a client completes the assessment, our law firm will email a letter called the Government Benefit Information Letter to the Filevine mailroom. Please save the information letter from the mailroom to the client's project, then record the date the information letter was received. So we'll click a date here, go ahead and click on save, and if we go back to the activity feed, we can go ahead and mark this as complete. And that is a high-level overview of really how this whole assessment process works. The only other piece is we will send our invoice to either the Filevine mailroom or to the designated person at your firm who handles case expenses. And so that may be something that we may also email to the mailroom, but that is outside the scope of these auto tasks. These auto tasks are really focused on sending the government benefit assessment to the client, recording the email sent date, and then once our law firm sends the letter back, you're going to save it to the client's project. So that's a really high-level overview of how the government benefit assessment process works and how the integration with Filevine works. Please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. On the Government Benefits tab, there is a link to our dedicated Filevine integration website, or you can also go ahead and email us if you have any questions at help@toomsmaxwell.com. And we really look forward to working with you and your clients. Thank you so much.